Alright, Danny G here again. I just realized when I got to work this morning that I forgot to mention an important conclusion to that story. The leather-clad terrorist in the parking lot. Well, basically, it was a Wednesday. Oh, damn it. It was a Wednesday afternoon appointment, and I was sweating up a storm in my full leathers. Shit. I'm not gonna. So So start over. Alright, this is Danny G here. And I got to work this morning and I realized that I left out an important conclusion to my story. Leather-clad terrorist in the parking lot. So it was a Wednesday afternoon appointment, and it was so hot. I was sweating up a storm like you would not believe. And so I get ready to do my appointment. I get in position in the line, and then the guy says, "Okay, let's suit up and let's go." And so I put on my gloves and helmet. As I went to put on my gloves, I went to put my right glove on my left hand. And he's like, wrong glove. And I was like, oh fuck, this doesn't look good. And so anyway, yeah, I was kind of nervous, right from the start. And but I get right up into position, and hold on, let me get on here. Alright, so it starts out bad, putting the wrong glove. And I go like, oh, I hope that wasn't on the test. Because I just failed. And then, he kind of giggled, and then, I proceeded to do the first part of the test. He says, go out there and, get up, stay between the lines, and then go around and come back. And I start going into the circular part of it, and then all of a sudden I hear something go clink, clink, crash. And I'm like, oh shit, what? And I realized that what had happened was the mount that I put my GPS right here. I don't know if you can see that, but that mount, which is just held on by like a little suction, fell off. It was such a hot day, I guess, that it just basically lost its, whatever dried up in there, and just lost its grip, and that was the moment it chose to fall off. And the worst thing about it is I have like a little safety on it, and the safety basically holds the mount part so that I don't lose it. And so it ended up like dangling right around my see, this is why I always stay away to the left over here on these. So anyway, it's like dangling there, and of course I'm in this super duper tight turn that's almost at maximum steering angle for my bike, and it's like hitting in there. It's like stuck between the steering wheel and the bike, and I can't turn. And I'm like, oh fuck. And I went outside the line, and I rode over to him, and I said, dude, I just had like this major mishap here, and it's like, can I do it over? And like, he was like really cool about it, and he was like, oh sure, yeah, it's okay, I saw what happened out there. And so I said, could you hold on to this? And I gave him the mount part that was dangling, and he's like, okay, sure. And so then I go out there and I start riding again, and all of a sudden, as I was doing it over again, all of a sudden I realized that part of the mount broke off and was sitting right smack in the middle of where I had to ride on this super tight turn. And I totally like, I just said, okay, I'm gonna ride through, and I actually rode over it and stayed within this tight little circle, riding on top of it. And then when I came back and I completed that part of the test, I came back and I said, oh man, I can't believe it. Part of my GPS mount is still sitting out there in the middle of the test run. And I said, can I go pick it up? And he says, yeah, sure, go ahead. So I went out and picked it up, and so then I completed the rest of the. I went to do the next part of the test. And he said, okay, well, in this part of the test, you're going to have to keep it, you're not going to be able to do this at an idle, he said. And I was like thinking to myself, oh shit, I've basically practiced this thing at an idle. And So I started to just do it like I normally do it, and he's like, slow down, slow down. And I slowed down. I tried to, I put the brake on a little bit, but I didn't want to screw my rhythm up. And so then I proceeded to go through, and I did it flawlessly. And then he waved me over, and he's like, okay, test over. And I'm like, wait a minute, what about this part and that part and whatnot? And he's like, no, test over. You completed it successfully. And I'm like, oh, okay. That was actually pretty easy. Kind of freaked out yesterday coming home from work about this time, maybe a little earlier. So there's a motorcycle down, causing a traffic jam. It was in like the not the fast lane, the second to the fast lane. I always ride. I think the safest place in traffic is in the HOV lane, and that's the only place I lane split. Also, because it's, unless someone is breaking a law, they don't leave that lane, so you can pretty safely lane split right next to them until you get to the broken part like this. And there, that's where I'm really careful, and I stay way to the left to make sure that cars that come in don't run me off the road. Give myself a chance to react. Here. All right, I have another story to tell, but I don't have time to tell it now, so I'll just preview it. I'll just hint at it. It's called I call it Ants in the Pants or Somewhere. Ah, damn, that's a cop. I'm actually kind of glad that this light ended up being red. All right. Danny G out.